Boom. Salutations. Alright, this is another one of those fast blasts, and I don't even know how many more videos I'll do over Sasquatch, because I've done a lot on Patreon especially, but it's just, I have these questions, alright? And this one is very simplistic, and that is, does Sasquatch possess the capability of fire? Do they know what fire is, know how to make it? Do they use it? And we assume no, of course not, because we've been told that, and we don't hear any accounts of them being seen using it for the most part. Now, if you start researching this a little bit, listening to accounts, you hear some things about them getting into embers that people have left going and maybe helping start fires and things of that nature, spreading it or just having accidents with it and things. But that's, a little bit different. That goes into the safety more to, I'm examining this more to the aspect of, do they actually know how to make it because they've seen people doing it naturally? And if you look at how these beings actually, how observant they are of people, it's absolutely incredible. And we don't know really where they go, just are they manifested beings or not? And number two, we're going into a different aspect to this, when dealing with whatever their possible genome is. Would they be more like gorillas? If you really look up gorillas are vegetarians. They eat plants and insects a lot, but they're not particularly meat eaters. If you look up chimpanzees, it says that they hunt other chimpanzees and do occasionally eat meat, but they're more vegetarian also, much more vegetarian based. And that takes us back down to actually the monkeys. Most of the varieties of monkeys, when I looked it up anyway, it says most of them are omnivores. So they do eat meat, some of them. So taking that into Sasquatch though, do they have enough human genome that they can just go and eat raw meat and just tear it off and eat like that and have enough to process that in their gut and everything? Or is there too much of human genome in them? And do they need to know something like fire? Do they know what that is? That's just a fascinating aspect. I think it needs to be examined a little bit more than what it is and not just written off. But if they're manifested beings, would they need it? They could just eat things like that, and whether corporeal, and that takes us into a whole nother realm of things with these Sasquatch. I think it's fascinating. We hear things, a lot of reports of them eating berries a lot, eating fruit, eating different foods, but I've also heard a lot of them eating cattle, chickens, yada yada, slamming things. I heard a lot of stuff about that. So taking that a step further, it reminds me of a movie called Quest for Fire that came out when I was a kid, starring that dude Ron Perlman, who wound up being Hellboy, and on Beauty and the Beast playing Vincent, I think Wings Hauser, and oh yes, Ray Dawn Chong. Oh yeah, she was in that one. So, but that was all about them trying to maintain that fire, and it was right around, because she knew how to make it, and the rest of them were trying to keep it alive. And that was what that movie was all about. So that'll have you start looking up actually Neanderthal, and did they have the ability to work with fire? That's a pretty hot debated subject in anthropology circles, it seems like. So you got that, and also looking that up to did Gigantopithecus or Australopithecus, did they have the possibility to make fire? Could they use it? So it's just interesting, it's food for thought if nothing else, because I don't know where this begins and ends, even if we're coming from whether they're metaphysical beings, they've got paranormal aspects, or you're just coming from they're strictly apes camp. Either way, the question still exists. Do they have the ability, or they have capability of fire? Making it natural, or just using it, or picking up from people left it and using it. It's very interesting food for thought, if nothing else. Quickly, I think that's enough to think of it that way, and just do your own and leave some comments. What do you think? Because I don't know. I'm leaving this open. I'm not an expert in it. All I can do is compare it to a couple of things that I've heard and what we experience and what we don't know, opposed to what science knows about the other primates that exist and humans. I just find it, if there's so much human in them, I don't know how much raw stuff they could be eating all the time. It's my opinion only, but I'm no expert on that, alright? So, Please subscribe. I appreciate all of you. Much energy. People on Patreon, thank you very much for keeping these going on. Please push the like button. Push the bell so you get notified when I put something new out. Share with your friends these videos, alright? Thank you very much. Peace and much energy.